The topic of hospice care and some advice if you're considering it for a loved one. Deb, good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
I am good. It's good to see you. Obviously, we're handling kind of a serious subject this morning, which is dealing with hospice care. Let's start for people who may not be familiar, just kind of in general, what hospice care means.
So hospice care is meant for anyone who has a terminal illness that has 6 months or less in general, by a doctor's opinion, to live. So hospice care is a decision of the doctor and the family together to be put on that. And it provides different benefits for the family and for the patient to just be able to live those last few months in the best way possible, by way of lack of pain and in the best way that they could pass with their wishes.
Talk about kind of having that conversation, because it can be difficult for a family to get to that point and have that conversation, but the comfort it can provide when that time comes.
Yes, it is very difficult. Hopefully you've been having these conversations over the years as well. So it's a good thing to always be talking about and thinking about what your wishes are at the end of your life. But with hospice care, it's important to remember that even if you are put on hospice, it doesn't mean that you're giving up. It just means that we want you to live with best quality of life through the end of your life. And so it is a joint decision with the family, and it provides some benefits such as a 24/7 access to a nurse case manager. This way, as you're going through the dying process, you have questions. Things are different. If you've never been through this process, you don't know what it's like to really go through it. I know when my mom was passing, she was very young, 65 when she died, and we really wanted to keep her in our home. And she was on hospice. It provided an aid about 2 or 3 times a week, which was not enough for us. It was very difficult for my father. So we were able to enlist the help of additional caregivers. And that helped us to support my father and keep my mother at home. So you have to understand that you don't have to be at home, even though you think your wish might be to stay at home. But when you're going through it, it just might be too overwhelming for you. So there are other settings in which you can provide hospice care, such as some of those voluntary hospice homes, like the Shepherd Home, for example, is one place that Rochester has. And then also now long-term care facilities are providing hospice care as well.
Yeah, you talk about also too, outside of hospice, support groups for families, especially caregivers in the family, and also coming up with ideas like a meal calendar that can help kind of take the burden off of some of those everyday tasks.
Yes. As I said, it is a difficult process to go through, and people they don't know where to turn. So as a registered nurse and a case manager, if you have questions, I'd be happy to talk with you. But enlisting a company such as Happier at Home to provide some additional support of caregivers. And then there are also support groups for the families going through this and for the patient themselves to come to grips with what they're experiencing. And also that support group, after your loved one passes, can continue on afterwards for the family, which is very helpful.
Yeah, Deb, always good advice. If people want more about, to learn more about what you have to offer at Happier at Home, where can they go?
They could go to our website at happierAtHome.com, and we will put this video up and also some information of how to get a hold of us.
All right, Deb, always good to have you on. Appreciate your time this morning here on Good Day Rochester, and we'll see